Hey guys, what's going on? Joe here for Mobile Cup of Joe. And in today's episode of Mobile Cup of Joe, I'm going to be giving you guys my full review of the Fujifilm FinePix S4200 point-and-shoot camera. But before we go any further, please go ahead and grab that coffee cup, fill it up, bring it over, and sit on down. Take a swig from your Mobile Cup of Joe. Alright guys, so the Fujifilm FinePix S4200 came out back in January of this year, and it is a really great point-and-shoot camera that actually has some professional feels to it and some professional aspects of it, like a full DSLR, but it comes in at a very affordable price point, and overall it's just a really great camera. So we're going to start this review off with the design of the S4200. So on the front of the device, we have our 24x zoom, and I believe this is like a 23mm lens, and it can capture images up to 16 megapixels and record video up to 1080p full HD. And on the front we also have this nice grip right here, where you can hold it really in one hand and take some pictures, and it feels really good in your hand. And it's got this nice, as you can see, little textured grip all around there, and it feels quite sturdy in the hand. I love how the nice sturdiness of it feels when you're holding onto it. If we go to the top of the device, we have got our zoom little switch right here, our image capture button or video recording button. Got some two settings buttons right here for face detection or frequency, power switch here, another settings button in our settings wheel to change the shooting mode you want to be in and to switch from still picture and video recording. And on the back of the device, we have got our electronic viewfinder and our 3-inch LCD screen, and you can push this button right here to swap between either the EFV, the EVF, or the LCD. And to the right of the LCD screen, we have got our exposure settings button, our menu button, and some other settings like macro and our timer and flash. And we also have a display back button and a preview the photos. And on the left side of the camera, we've got our little speaker right here, which sounds okay. Speakers on cameras never sound the greatest, but well, we have got our, you see, our 24x super wide zoom right there, and our little flash lever right there to activate the flash of the camera. And on the other side, we have got our mini HDMI and mini USB syncing ports right there. And on the hatch under the device, we have got our batteries, and this thing requires 4 AA batteries to get you through and power through this device. It can last a decent amount of time. We'll get into the batteries performance a little bit later, but you can just pop them all in there. I'm dropping my batteries all over, but just pop the batteries in there, and then to close the hatch, you gotta kind of push down on it and get it in there. It's a little tricky. You'll be able to get the hang of it though after the first couple of tries. And then we've got our little thing right here for hooking this up to like a tripod or something. So next on the review, we have got build quality. So the build quality of the Fujifilm FinePix S4200 actually feels really great. Like I mentioned before, the grip right here feels really good. All the buttons feel pretty responsive. One thing though I had with your little 4-way directional pad here, it feels okay, but sometimes it's hard to tell if it's registering your touch to it. It feels just a little flimsy. I wish they had made this little 4-way directional pad a little bit more sturdier, but besides that, it's okay. And then for the LCD screen, it performs okay. It's a little hard to see in light conditions, but that's what we have our electronic viewfinder for. And really this holds up quite well. As you can see, there's no scratches or visible scratches really anywhere on the device, and it just feels like a really sturdy device. But going on next in the review, we have got hardware. So with cameras, hard to do hardware a lot, but one thing we can mention in the hardware part of the review are a couple things. One of the things is the zoom of the camera. As you mentioned before, it's got a 24x wide zoom, super wide zoom. So let's just take a minute and look and see how much zoom this baby's got. Look at that. That is right there is the zoom of the Fujifilm FinePix S4200. Zoom out. I'll go back to a full 24 times right there on our 24 millimeter zoom lens, 24 millimeter zoom. So look, you can see just how ridiculously long that zoom is. It's absolutely crazy, and you should have no trouble at all getting close to an image if you are far away from it. And one thing I really liked about the Fujifilm FinePix S4200 is that even if you're zoomed in all the way at 24 times, the image stabilization of the camera actually performs quite well. It doesn't get really ridiculously shaky like it does on most other cameras. It stays considerably sturdy, and if you're taking the pictures in the full 24 times zoom, it's actually not as hard as you think it would be. So I really got to give Fujifilm some props to that. But next we're going to go on to software. So the Fujifilm FinePix S4200, it's just got a really basic software in here. You just got your menu, and you can go to like change the image size, image quality, different color settings and stuff. You can go to more settings, date and time difference, yada yada yada, silent modes. So there's some basic settings. It's a very dead simple, just menus, and I really like it. It's really easy to get in and out of if you're in a hurry, and I just like the simplicity of it. You can see some cameras are coming out with the Android operating system on it, but I'm really not a fan of that. So the software on this is really nice. You got lots of settings. You got your flash, obviously, your macro settings for taking images up really close. You got your timer settings, face detection, frequency settings, exposure settings. One thing though that this camera does not perform that well on are filters for images, or the filters that are things that give your images an effect to them, like black and white or sepia or something. Something that Instagram is most known for doing so well. On the Fujifilm FinePix S4200 though, there are only really three choices: a standard, a chrome, or black and white. I have not been able to see really any difference between chrome and standard, so you're really limited to just a standard setting or black and white. This is not a huge deal for me though, because if I want to add effects, I'll just go into my video editing software and picture editing softwares on my computer. But for people that don't have access to that, they like doing all their effects on their camera, this could be kind of a big letdown to you. So if you're a fan of having a lot of choices of effects and filters to put on your camera's pictures directly through your camera before you take the pictures or the videos, you may want to keep this in mind, because like I said, you really only have the black and white option on the S4200. But going on to the next part of the review, we've got image and video quality. So we're gonna see some pictures that I took while I had my S4200, and just take a look and see what you see for yourselves. So as you can see, the pictures look downright gorgeous. This thing captures images up to 16 megapixels, and that is a ridiculously high image quality. Now, megapixels aren't always the big thing with how the quality of a picture is going to look on a camera. That also depends on the zoom that the manufacturer of the camera implements in their camera, and this thing performs just downright amazingly. If you're in low light situations, the flash performs really well. It's going to look a little bit of grainy to some people, especially if you're very, very low light situations. But if you're outside or just in moderate lighting situations, the S4200 performs really, really great. It picks up colors really great, very accurately, and it doesn't overexpose any colors, or they don't get washed out either. It's a very accurate camera, at least in my opinion, and I have not really found anything to complain about with the S4200. And as you can tell too, the macro on here and with the zoom is ridiculously detailed. As you see, like the pictures of those kittens I took, you can see like the individual hairs and the individual whiskers in the water covering their eyes. This thing captures amazing pictures. Unfortunately though, this is not entirely true for the video, so just take a quick look at some video samples I recorded.
It's all right. You guys aren't going to the game tonight, are you? You look like you're like dressed. Ready to go? Okay, well maybe we can meet at the sports bar.
So as you can see, video does not look that great. I mean, it's passable, but even in 1080p Full HD, it still doesn't look really great, and especially in low light situations, it just cannot perform how dedicated camcorders can. But if you need to film a quick video while you're taking pictures and you don't really care a whole lot about having really great quality, then it's fine. But if you want to do this for like filming videos on YouTube or filming some little short films with your friends, it's not really a great choice. I can't fully recommend this. If you want to do that, like I said, I have to suggest a full-fledged dedicated camcorder. But this camera is not designed for images, or it's not designed for videos. It is designed for images, and you can really tell that with our image and video quality comparison. But going on next real quick is battery life. So if you're capturing images in the full 16 megapixels and recording video in full 1080p Full HD video, you will be able to get around 4 or 5 days roughly. I had this camera and I was taking many pictures, probably around, I'd say 200 or 150 on the highest quality, and it lasted me about 4 days before I had a completely dead camera. And this would not be terrible, except for the fact, like we mentioned earlier, it's got double A's. So that's going to get really expensive unless you purchase some rechargeable double A's. But keep in mind, you need 4 of them. So if you do not have a rechargeable double A's, this is going to get quite expensive, and you may want to seriously consider purchasing some rechargeable double A batteries if you do not have them. Because, like I said, with having a battery that runs out in like 4 days or so, if you're capturing a lot of images, around 200 or so in the highest quality you can for the camera, it is going to run out pretty fast. But if you're just on, you know, like a day or two vacation, you need a camera to capture your memories, it'll be fine. But if you're on like a week or more, then you are going to want to consider, or you really should, bring along some spare camera batteries. But coming up now, we have our final verdict / overall value of this camera. So coming in at only, as it's on Amazon at the moment right now, this recording date, it's on Amazon.com for only $163. Keep in mind, this price is liable to change because Amazon's prices do seem to change daily. But right now, it's on there for $163, and for that price, you really can't go wrong with this camera. While there are some minor setbacks, such as the video recording quality being under par, and the battery life not being too great, and for not having a whole lot of different filter features or effects for your pictures and or videos, $163 is still really great. If you just want a camera to capture high quality pictures and decent looking video, then this is the way to go. $163 is really a steal for this camera, and it just looks like a full DSLR, and it can capture, in my opinion, images that are DSLR capable. So overall, I'm going to be giving the Fujifilm FinePix S4200 a 9 out of 10. We're docking a point for the previously mentioned cons with it, but 9 out of 10 is still a great review. So comment below and let us know what your favorite camera that has released in this past year is. Is it this one, or is it a different one? Comment below, let us know what your favorite camera that was released this year is. But guys, that is all the time we have for this episode of Mobile Cup of Joe. And if you liked the video, please go ahead, hit the like button if you liked it. Take us 1 second to do so. Really help support the show. And if you want to show your support towards the show even more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right there for more Mobile Cup of Joe videos. And guys, we are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and make sure to check out our website, www.mobilecupofjoe.com, for your latest mobile tech news outside of our videos. But guys, I've been your host, Joe Martin. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.